guys, we got to get now with this massive Middle East distraction that's been kicked off because the Ukraine war was starting to fizzle out real quick in a heartbeat. And it got so desperate that Zelensky was going to country, basically asking for handouts. That's how the Ukraine war is ending up. And I believe by 2024-ish, Zelensky will seek asylum in the United States of America. By 2024, maybe spring, I could see Zelensky getting asylum in the United States of America. Okay, so we have to get into the deflection. What is all this happening? What is all of this that's happening and how it's affecting us? All these distractions. You know why? There's going to be a tsunami of censorship that's going to hit us point blank in the face. Mark my words. This whole Middle East crisis that's been happening since the time of Moses is flaring up again. You know why? Because there's going to be a massive tsunami of censorship that's coming. Mark my words. So we're going to get into censorship news right now on Mike in the Night. China finds a man over 144 large after he used a VPN. And if you want to get more information, go to Reclaim the Net, guys, and check them out. And in a precedent-setting verdict, a programmer identified by his username Ma from northern China has been slapped with a fine exceeding 1 million yuan by the authorities for using a virtual private network, VPN, marking a stark example of stern measures taken to uphold China's Great Firewall. This sets a new record for the harshest financial penalty ever imposed on an individual for bypassing the nation's stringent internet censorship regime. So there it is. Need to bring this up because they're going to start cracking down here in Canada, and it's going to be, I think it's going to be China, Canada, because the Trudeau's out of control. So I think they're going to start censoring Canada, then Australia and New Zealand, and then the blue states of America, and then the red states might fall into the UK, and then the blue states of America. So you'll see the pattern will be Canada after the EU. China's already censorship territory. I'm talking about EU comes first, then comes Canada, and then comes Australia with the baby carriage. So let's keep moving forward here. EU. The EU could push its private message ban as early as next week. What the hell is a private message ban? What ban? For what? So here it is. They got a really clever name for this too. The EU is getting closer to pushing through the legislation known amongst critics chat control. Officially, Child Sexual Abuse Regulation CSAR, and is hoping to reach a deal within the bloc as early as next week. One of those who have been consistently opposed to the controversial upcoming rules, a German member of European Parliament, MEP, and lawyer Patrick B., has reacted by warning once again that regardless of some minor changes, if passed, the bill would effectively spell the end of proper encryption and private messaging in the EU. And like we said here before multiple times, the United EU is spearheading and blocking information. And which country? France. France, I like how France is causing all this trouble. France is on the hook for all this trouble, trying to censor because of Macron and all the BS he's going through, and the BS he's put his people through, that they need EU to follow in suit and basically start hard on internet censorship. Let's keep going. EU threatens to block X, Musk demands concrete examples of alleged disinformation. EU Commissioner TB has warned Elon Musk in a letter that his platform X, formerly known as Twitter, is spreading illegal content and disinformation. The letter said concerns that had heightened after the Hamas attack against Israel and demanded Musk to respond to the complaint and conduct a relevant law enforcement authorities within 24 hours. This is not the first time the EU has tried to control what constitutes disinformation. In 2020, a European Digital Media Observatory, remember we talked about this, guys, EDMO, we talked about it on the channel in 2020, was created to coordinate editorial teams in member states to take charge of fact-checking. So France is spearheading this. So I really like how they're blaming the whole European Union. It's France first, then Spain. Okay? And then the Ukraine. Those are the countries in order that want to stop the freedom of speech and the freedom of information. And back to digital ID from Mike in the Night back in 2017. Digital prison, digital ID, digital money, digital soul. The UN Development Program urges governments to push digital ID. And the UN Development Agency, UNDP, has published its governance framework for the digital public infrastructure that it hopes all of its 190 plus members will align themselves with. So we'll keep you posted on that. We have been keeping you posted on that for a good while now. And EU opens investigation into X after making censorship demands. So the EU really wants to go dark. The EU is pushing to go dark. The EU is doing everything humanly possible to go dark. And it goes on to the potential risk of such probes is that they could lead to a world where a centralized authority determines the validity of opinions and controls information flow. From the perspective of anti-censorship advocates, this move by the EU is a slippery slope. And that's how it starts. And they tell you it's to save you and to save you and to save you and they're protecting you. Realistically, you're giving up freedoms that you could never get back, and they take advantage. And X yields to EU demand to remove pro-Hamas posts after commissioner threatens ban from the entire platform. Again, social networking platform X removed hundreds of Hamas-linked accounts and taken action to remove or flag tens of thousands of posts since the attack on Israel. The CEO of Portal, formerly known as Twitter, Linda Yagcarinho, said on Thursday. So there it is. They responded to it. And so you can't, they are obviously not wanting anyone to take a side here. Well, they want you to take the one side, right? Because that's the distraction now, right? So there is your censorship news, guys, in a nutshell.